Hi, and welcome to my channel. Hopefully this video found you, or maybe you found this video. It's been a while since I've actually had a little setup like this with the computer, the mic, me sit in front of the camera. I haven't probably sat in front of the camera in over maybe 5 or 6 months. It's been a while. It's been a while. And that's why I'm here to talk about. I'm a small content creator, and I feel like as a small content creator, a lot of people really don't share maybe what the behind the scenes of what it takes to be a content creator, especially when you lose that spark of wanting to create videos or just having that inspiration again. So we're gonna talk about it. Just give me a minute. It's been a while. So I just took my dog outside and came back in, and the whole time I was outside I was thinking about how I wanted to start this video. Should I make an intro? But then the more I thought about it, the more I kept overthinking it, the more I was just like, yeah, it's giving scripted, it's giving actor, it's giving not authentic. So I wanted to be like, I want to give you guys the raw, authentic, uncut me. I want to talk to you how I talk to ChatGPT because she's been like this since we started having our little powwows throughout the year. And we're going to talk about that too. How do I want to start off? If you've been following me for a while, as you can see, I changed my username and I can see the total revamp of the channel. Why? I love Insecure K. I made that name because I fell in love with the show Insecure by Issa Rae. So that's where I got the Insecure from. And I was trying to flip the name Insecure into something more of a positive. When you hear insecure, you think negative. I was trying to take the word and make it like, no, it's not that. It's about, yes, we're all insecure about something, but as long as you are able to own it and control the narrative, then nothing else matters. When you think about it from outsider standpoint of view, a lot of people wouldn't get it, and I think once I kind of figured that out, I was kind of like, maybe it's time to switch it up. I need to make it, well, I guess my username a little bit more user friendly or channel friendly. I don't know what people think when they see the name Insecure K on YouTube. Is it something that you want to click on, or is it something like, nah, I'm not interested in the channel? Or does it make you think, what is this channel even about if she's calling herself that? Speaking of that, I had to do a rebranding of the channel too. I had to really sit back and be like, why did I create my YouTube channel in the first place? I love the name Insecure K, but it didn't really go with what I wanted to promote, right? So when I first started YouTube, when I came back to do it 2024, my channel was about celebrities and the drama and giving my commentary about certain situations. Oh, watching different shows and then giving my commentary throughout the show type thing. And I was just like, yeah, I don't think that really fits with my username. So I was just like, okay. And then the more I was getting into celebrity drama and commentary on that, I was just kind of like, I got my own issues to worry about. And me talking about other people's issues doesn't really sit well with me. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just kind of stay away from that. So yeah, that's the reason for the channel revamp, the username, and everything like that. So I'm going into a totally different direction as far as the content that I want to make. So I'm really excited about that. And I feel like the content that I am making in the future, I feel like it really resonates with who I am as a person. And I'm choosing peace. Okay, peace is the number one thing that I am heavily involved with mentally, physically, and emotionally and spiritually. It's time to switch it up. So I went to KayDaTinker. KayDaTinker. It got a nice ring to it. KayDaTinker. So K, Markeia, K in the name. Still get to keep some originality and still get to give you guys a little piece of me on the channel. The Tinker, I got that from ChatGPT. If you're on ChatGPT, you would know they gave a whole 2025 overall thing like they did on Apple, your overall playlist of music, but they did that with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT basically told me my archetype is a tinker. So if you know, you know, but I'm going to give you what ChatGPT says about being a tinker. And I felt like it really resonated with me and who I am as a person because I was like, she's right. She's definitely right. So here is what it is. Okay. So what is the tinker archetype? Okay. The tinker archetype represents a person who learns, understands, and creates by experimenting rather than following a fixed plan. A tinker learns by doing, tries different things, adjusts, and tries again, is curious, playful, and practical practical, improve systems little by little instead of chasing perfection. Think of someone who takes something apart just to see how it works, not to break it, but to understand it. And I feel like that's how my YouTube channel is. I'm basically experimenting on like what works for me, what doesn't work for me. At first, I was trying to follow the algorithm. Oh, make sure you post this many times a day. Make sure you do X, Y, and Z, and yada, yada, yada. Maybe I'll switch up the content and do something else. Maybe I'll do more like reaction videos versus talking about the celebrity commentary and yada, yada, yada. When I was doing that, I was just like, it's not sticking. For one, it's not sticking with the algorithm. And two, it's not sticking with me. It's like, the person. Because I feel like if I want to make videos, I want to make something that I'm passionate about, not something that temporarily makes me like, ooh, you know, I want to be like, yeah, I want to make this again and again and again and again. I was like, yeah, KayDaTinker really stinks out to me. I mean, this is the end of an era for Insecure Kay. I love that name. You know, I feel like it was an era of me trying to, I guess, really find myself. Because I was like, there's a lot of things about me that I feel like I'm insecure about, you know, whether it's negative or positive. And it was cute, but I feel like more so for brand friendly, YouTube friendly, I feel like KayDaTinker really stinks out because who do you else know is named that, you know? So I was like, okay, we'll do KayDaTinker because shout out to ChatGPT. That was one thing. The next thing I want to talk about, because we're just going off the dome, not really going off the dome here. I wrote down a couple of things I want to discuss in the video. I don't want to be here long, and I don't want to be, when I got to edit this video, I don't want to be doing this editing thing too. That was another thing too I'll talk about. When I was recording my content, when it came to the editing part, it was taking longer than it was to make the video. And that kind of discouraged me from recording, editing, and yada, yada, and doing the whole thing because I was just like, oh my gosh, like, let's say I record today. Let's say today's Monday. I want the video to be out by Friday. But because I'm so particular about how I want the video to look and edit, and yada, 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 it might not come out until Saturday. And I hated that because I tried to keep myself on a schedule and the schedule wouldn't work. And it deterred me from like recording and editing, especially editing really got to me. And I feel like nobody really talks about that. Or maybe they do talk about it on YouTube and I just haven't found that channel yet. But yeah, that really bugged me editing my videos. It took longer than expected and it just wasn't fun anymore. So I was like I said, before I sat down to record this video, I had a hard time being like, what am I going to talk about? How am I going to start? And I was like, the more I kept thinking about it, I was just like, just do it. Because the more you sit and procrastinate, it'll never get done. Regardless if the video is perfect or not, I just wanted to be like, you know, I like watching other people who are just relatable. Like they just come on camera and do their thing, regardless of what they look like, who they are. You know, it could be a nobody with 23 views or somebody with 100K views. I feel like people know when you're authentic and when you're not, we know. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I've been gone from YouTube for a minute was because I no longer loved it anymore. And also, on top of not loving YouTube, I decided to delete all my social medias. Instagram, TikTok is about to be done soon because of the new, you know, ownership. So I'm going to be done with that. Twitter, I'm going to get rid of my Snapchat. I had Red Note. Any type of social media, I'm getting rid of. I realize social media has consumed me a lot and has taken away from things that I probably could have got done, you know, instead of like, as soon as I get off work, take the dog out, I'm on TikTok scrolling. Even though I was scrolling at work, you know, just to pass time when I'm on break. Yeah, lunch. Yeah. Yeah, it started to consume me. And I was just like, yeah, this isn't good. I just kept doing it throughout this year because I had a lot going on mentally. So TikTok was definitely like an escape. And then it was more relatable. You could connect with people. And then too, I was on TikTok. I was a TikTok shop affiliate. I was getting samples. I was buying things, making videos about it, trying to promote myself and the items, the brands who were sending me stuff. I was trying to promote them too so I can make money off that. Cause I was thinking like, oh, if I do that, then you know, another source of income. But what I realized what I was doing on TikTok was I was participating in the consumerism. And I didn't like that. Like once you start to realize what's going on in society, especially when it came to that, I was like, oh yeah, I don't like doing that because there's a lot of people who don't really need to be buying all this stuff. It's just unnecessary money being spent on things that honestly you really don't need. So once I figured that out, I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore because it's just not genuine. You know, I had to feel like I had to put script together as far as like what I was going to say, make a hook and blah, blah, blah. So you can like me persuade you into be like, let me buy this pickle kit. Let me buy this honey. Let me buy yada, yada, yada. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that no more. I'm deleting all my social media. I want to start fresh. I think only the source of social media that I want to follow is YouTube. And it'll kind of deter me from like actually being online a lot because I really don't care for like the YouTube reels or whatever, you know? it's the same thing as like they kind of just incorporated different things from different social medias and put them on YouTube so you can get your long form and your short form content. And I don't really care for that, the reels part of it. So it's like it's an option too, but do I have to watch it? No. And I feel like with me doing that will help me be more focused on my other goals that I'm looking forward to in life, especially going into a new era of 2026. Another reason why I haven't been on here recording, editing, doing all that. And with that being said about social media, let's get into TikTok. So with TikTok, I want to say it's a blessing and a curse. I love the app. I love what it's for and I love what it's done. It's basically Vine. If you was a Viner back in the day, then you would know. Vine is basically TikTok, just more access, more things to do, longer videos, and you can buy stuff on there. That's what TikTok is, Vine. But what I started to realize while I was on TikTok was my algorithm was feeding me information about America and how America runs as a system, as a government, and yada, yada, yada. And the more rabbit holes I was falling down in learning about America and what America really is, the more depressed and the more of a spiritual awakening I started to have with this country. It's like basically, if you've been living under a rock, you would know that everything that has been fed to us has been a lie. And I feel like, wow, this whole time of me doing what I was supposed to do has all been a lie. And the system was only made and designed for certain people if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to end up in the rat race like the rest of us down here. I'll say middle class, but middle class is probably low class at this point because of how everything's going. That made me kind of very depressed on top of my issues that I had going on. But to know like all that's been going on while I've been trying to live my life is kind of like, wow, it's pretty sad. It's pretty bad, and it's made me reevaluate who I am and what this country is. We all went to school. We did what we were supposed to do. I know when I got to high school, I didn't really think about a career. I was just like, I just want to get out of here. I didn't really think about like where do I go with college. I feel like I was just forced to do it because my mom wanted me to go so bad, but she never put me in a position as to be like, okay, Marcia, what makes you happy? What do you enjoy to do? Where do you see yourself as far as a career wise? She never did that. So I did community college for 6 months, got my refund check and left. And then ever since then, I haven't looked back since because in my mind, in community college, I'm like, I feel like it's more efficient for me to go get a job and make money than to sit here for maybe 4 years and then go make money. I feel like I'll be behind, but honestly, everybody's behind. The whole system's a Ponzi scheme. It's like every day is something new. Honestly, every week it's something new. Yeah, holidays are a lie. History's a lie. They're trying to erase history, and it just is like I don't know. I don't know what's worse than this. How far can we go before things just collapse? When will we actually wake up as people and be like, we're tired of this, Grandpa? I'm tired of the system telling me what I need to do when at the end of the day, it's only benefiting uh, a handful of people while everybody else has to struggle to put money in a system that isn't benefiting them in the long run. Imagine if I could continue to keep working the same job I've been working for the next 30, 40 years. And you tell me I can't retire until 70. And then when I retire, all that money you guys took from me, I'm not even getting all that back. I'm getting enough to survive. Or hopefully, if I don't have enough, like most Americans, you got to go work a part-time job to make sure you got to pay your bills. So it's been discouraging. It's been an eye opener. It's been a hard pill to swallow. And it hurts. It hurts my feelings. It hurts my soul. And most people will be like, why do you care so much? And it's like I care because I'm living in a country. Been living in this country for since I was alive. I've been taught what they wanted me to know. And I'm not supposed to be mad that I've been lied to this whole time. No wonder I got trust issues. I got trust issues with the system. I mean, I'm like most Americans, but it's just like once you start to peel the layers as to why things are the way they are, like somebody will tell you you need credit. But why do you really need credit? Oh, you need to pay taxes. But why do I really need to pay taxes if I don't see where the money's going? But I know I got to do it. But once you realize what the money is going for, that's when you start to realize, like, oh, this is bad, especially work. We were all indoctrinated to go to school to be workers. That's what school was for. Really think about it. When you graduated from high school, let's say you didn't go to college, or let's say you did, but even if, can you really take those skills you learned in school into the real world? Not really. Really think about it. You were just a kid at home hanging out with your brothers and sisters, or maybe you're only child. Then you got forced into an environment to be with all these random kids you don't know. But somehow you got to make friends with them. And I guess you can call it networking, especially if you grew up with these friends from, kindergarten all the way up to high school, right? So now you're kind of like, okay, I got to somehow navigate life with these random kids I don't know. And everybody has different personalities because everybody's raised different. And you just hope maybe you find the right people, but then you don't even know like what goes on in these kids' homes. Like, imagine. I don't even want to imagine. And now that I'm older, I can't imagine because everything's online for you to watch to see what type of lifestyle, what's going on in schools. And yeah, I feel like it's even worse now. And thank God I'm at school because I hated it then. So I can only imagine what it is now for the teachers, the students, and even the parents. And the parents kind of gave up. So now it's like the teachers are having to pick up the slack as far as discipline and anything else that the kids are lacking. And some of them don't even want to do that. Most of them just want to come in, do their job, go home. I remember when I worked at the YMCA, the after school program, I had a parent call me a glorified babysitter. It's like, yeah, I am. That's what you paid me to do because you don't have the time to be at home when your kid gets there because you're at work. So, if anything, I'm doing you a service, but some people don't see it that way. So, but yeah, school was meant to teach you how to just follow, just follow. Don't lead, just follow what needs to be done and just continue to do it for the next, I don't know, till retirement. That makes me sad too because most of these companies don't really care about you, but they expect you to be loyal. I think that's really hard. That's been another reason as to why I don't really care for, I guess, my hobbies. My work has been another like stressor on me, and it's caused a lot of mental stress, emotional stress, and honestly, it's starting to trickle down physically as well. And I ain't gonna sit up here and be like, and not say like I'm not grateful for the opportunities the job has given me as far as what money. As far as the money, but it's like anything outside of that sucks. Like my job doesn't offer PTO, or would they offer PTO, but they don't pay for like holidays. So I have to make sure I have to force myself to work to make sure I work 70 hours every 2 weeks so I can get accumulate PTO for New Year's. I'm not getting paid. Why? Because I spent most of this year focusing on my health when it came to going to the dentist, my dog, what else? Therapy, things that are important to me, going to the doctor, OBGYN, things like that. And I work for a hospital. You would think a hospital, mental. Yeah. But no, I'm not getting paid. So I'm missing out on hours because I didn't have enough PTO because I spent most of the year trying to cater to myself. Doesn't that sound crazy? It does. And it's just something you just have to accept because that's just how it's supposed to go. Sad to say it, but it does make me emotional. I ain't trying to think too deep because I ain't trying to cry. But when everything came into fruition, like this whole year, it's like, yeah, it hurt. It hurts to know that, people don't really care, especially a job. I devote my time, my energy, everything to you guys, just for you guys to possibly wake up and be like, we don't need you anymore. Thank you for your time. And it's like, I have to figure it out because at the end of the day, I can't go tell my leasing office, yeah, I got fired or they let me go. So I just gotta not try to find another job, hopefully. So yeah, that's been an eye opener. I mean, the thing is like I always knew this, but like I said, once you start peeling back the layers of everything that's going on in reality, it's like, wow, this is it. I'm supposed to keep doing this for the like 30, 40 years of my life and just be cool with it and not have anything to, I guess, see my hard work in the long run. I don't That's not okay. But what am I supposed to do in the meantime? It's not like I can go up to DC in what, March? I don't think marching is doing anything, any organized events. I don't know. It's just hard to know what's the right thing to do in order for everybody to succeed in life because everybody is not appreciative of what could be given to us as a collective because a lot of us is taking advantage of the system and I get that too because you got to do what you got to do, which makes it what sucks for the rest of us, especially when you're doing the right thing. But sometimes you got to finagle the system because the system don't it only works for certain people and you got to figure out how to work it for yourself even if you aren't that certain person, you know? So it's like you gotta lie. I don't wanna lie. I wanna be honest and be like, yeah, I'm struggling. I need help. Yes, I'm able to afford my bills and X, Y, and Z, but I can't afford groceries. What am I supposed to do? Get another job, work harder. Yeah, those realities have been very challenging for me to just really understand it for what it is. It's hard. It's tough, which leads into burnout culture. I'm burnt out. I'm tired. Okay. Outside looking in, I probably work one of the easiest jobs you can ever think of. Okay. I work from home. You would think working from home would be an amazing opportunity. You have so much time to do a lot of things, but I don't. Okay. I talk to people almost 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, right? When I get off work, most of the time I just want to sit here and do nothing but watch TV and just drown myself in TikTok. Mentally, that's not okay. Emotionally, that's not okay. Spiritually, that's not okay. It's like I feel like I just gave up because when you work in customer service, that's another thing too. That hurts my feelings working in customer service because you realize nobody cares. I mean, of course, nobody cares, but it's just like you don't know what people going through. You know, it's like I could be on the brink of crashing out, but I can't think to do that because money is more important than my feelings. I just have to go with the script because that is my job. My job is a script. I talk to people with the script. And I hate when I go off the script because then it's like I don't know how to malfunction. I don't know how to function. I kind of like malfunction because it's like you're not following the script. The script says you're supposed to do this and you went that way. So what am I supposed to do? Yeah, that's been tough too. And I'm burnt out. And that's probably why I actually the days that I've had taken off from work, I've enjoyed it because it's like I just don't have to be there. I'm tired of being there. I literally be debating when I wake up in the morning, do I want to clock in today? But I know I gotta do it because of the money. But then it's like bump the money. I wish money wasn't so important, but it is. That's another reason why I just haven't been interested in anything anymore. Social media, any of my hobbies, and it's tough. But I will say, on the brighter side of all of this, learning about America and then learning about myself has caused me to recalibrate my nervous system. Because now that if I indulge myself in the truth of everything, now I can see what's really going on through the third eye, my spiritual awakening. Okay. And I'm glad I did. Everything has come into fruition at the age of 29. All of a sudden, it's like, boom, everything hit me. You know, me learning about America. Boom, I know more than what I wanted to know. Boom, my life. Reevaluating my whole life from when I was younger until now and being like, wow, childhood trauma is real. And healing yourself from your childhood trauma so that you can be a better person to yourself is very hard. And it takes a lot of people to acknowledge that. And it takes a lot to actually sit with it. And a lot of people don't know how to do with that. Some people don't know how to just sit in silence. And I've mastered it. I ain't gonna say I'm perfect, but I've mastered it. Before, if I would be alone too long, I would have to like find someone to distract me. And that would be a man, a demon. And now I don't want to do that anymore because the times I learned my lesson. God has taught me a lot. I've learned my lesson, and men are only temporary happiness if you're not looking for the right thing. And that was my problem. I was looking for the wrong thing. And it would put me in situations I really didn't need to be in, but it made me feel good at the moment. So that's why I decided to, hey, let me hang out with him. Yeah, that was bad. But now it's just like I don't really bother with no one. I'm tired of taking L's. I'm tired of redoing my life because I thought I really liked you. I thought you really cared about me. You seemed like a nice guy, but the whole time you was plotting on me because I'm a genuinely nice person. Okay, now that I know who I am, I would if I care about you enough, I'll give my all to you. But once you screw me over, I'm done. I don't care anymore. You could die tomorrow. God forbid. I don't care. You don't do people wrong and expect me to really want to mess with you after that and pretend like nothing happened. You're goofy. You're an idiot. 2025 has been a very interesting year for me. It's taught me a lot about myself and also what's going on around me. I can't look at life the same anymore as far as like reality, knowing the truth. Sometimes I'd be like, I wish I didn't know, but now I do know, and it's a like I said, it's a tough pill to swallow because now my discernment is high, very high. And now I can just see it for what it is. And then I can be like, deuces, you know? I ain't got to be bothered with you. I don't want to be bothered with this or that. In the midst of me learning about what America and myself, what else have I came to the conclusion also about myself? I can proudly say that I am borderline autistic. Who would have thought? Oh my God, who would have freaking thought? As a 29-year-old female who probably has been undiagnosed for a very long time, I can proudly say I am borderline autistic. Now, To be honest with you, I probably gotta get a recheck again because when he was giving me my results, he was saying some of them were not 100% correct or accurate. So then I was like, well, how do I know if I'm really borderline autistic or if I'm actually on the spectrum? Yeah, it was interesting. What do I have to say about that? What do I have to say about that is it makes sense for me. There's a lot of things that I see about myself that I be wondering about. I'd be like, that ain't kind of weird, kind of odd, kind of different. Even growing up, people will always be like, "You're weird," or "You're very odd, peculiar, peculiar." How you pronounce it? But anyways, I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, kids being kids, blah, blah, blah. But then as I, have got to learn myself and who I am, I'm starting to see things about myself. I'm like, oh, I see what it is. I see what's going on here. Um, Let me see if that's really what it is. So that's what I did. I went to go get tested, and I ain't gonna lie to you. Anybody who goes and gets an ADHD and autistic test, I will say that was the most complex brain twister I've ever went through in my life. And but I'll take it back because it made me feel like how I felt in school. Because I told my therapist, I was like, I feel like I did this in school. I didn't even know I did it. And it kind of hurt. I was like, dang, maybe this is always the thing. I just didn't even know. And I cried afterwards, after I came home. Because here's the thing. I left my job, went to go take the test, came back to do my job because I didn't have enough PTO. Shouldn't have did that because my brain was already like tingly up here. Just to go back to work would deal with people and make it even more frustrated, tingly as well. So when I finally got off work, sat down, and was like, "Oh my god, I really did that today." And then I really internalized what was going on as far as like the test and everything. I was like, "Oh wow, yeah." I don't know. It kinda hurt my feelings because it made me realize, like, school was not fun for me. I didn't really enjoy it like I thought I did. That's another form of, like, suppression, especially emotionally, because I had a hard time making friends in school and understanding the curriculum. It made me feel like I didn't belong or I always felt like the odd person out because I just couldn't relate to those type of kids, I guess. And I guess the friends that I did have, I don't know. Sometimes I could be like, I don't know if they really like me for real, or maybe they think I'm too weirded out. And it's just genuinely who I am. So it made me kind of feel like I had to tone myself down to fit in. And I feel like because I did that, it made me lose who I really am as a person. Yeah, it made me lose who I really am as a person. And yeah, I feel like I was lost for a very long time until now. Like me sitting down, getting to learn who I am, and it just made me realize I just have to find people who align with my walk in life. And even if it's for a season, maybe what, a year or two, 6 months, and then when it's time to let go, let go. That's what I've came to my conclusion after me ranting to you guys about why I haven't been on YouTube, and maybe some of you out there can relate as what I'm going through. Because I feel like, as ChatGPT say, you're not the only one who's going through this. Don't be so hard on yourself. And she'll say that, I'll be like, you don't get it, ChatGPT, you don't get it. But now it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, she's right. Who knows who's going through something similar to what I'm going through, who is trying to chase a dream or a hobby, is not able to find it because life just isn't giving them what they need right now. And I feel like that's where I am. Life hasn't given me what I needed. I feel like because I've been off balance when it comes to myself, I couldn't really know what direction to take as far as like, I don't know. Like I said, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? I picked up a hobby. Now I don't want to do it anymore. I have no motivation to like do anything but just watch TV and scroll on TikTok because work is hard. Life is hard. I need money to do this and X, Y, and Z. And it's just not fun anymore. Like life isn't fun. Not saying I want to myself, but it's just like I just don't want to participate in society. I rather be like, I don't want to say I rather, but it's like, I mean, what's another option of what I'm doing now? I can either be homeless, but you can't even be homeless somewhere. It's a crime. So you can either go to jail. The jail is literally slavery. But you would think what we're doing now is jail. We have to follow the system. And if we don't follow the system, you will be made an example, whether it be jail or homelessness. So it's a lot. I can go deeper, but I've already talked a lot. And I got to go back edit all this out, but it's okay. Not all of it, but like majority. But I just wanted to come on here, give my 2 cents before the year was out, and just, just let y'all know, like, hey, I'm back. New content on the way. It's gonna be something different. It's gonna be something that is genuinely something that I like to do and what I want to pursue. And I hope what I got for you guys in the future, you guys will really like. And we can actually expand, make it bigger, make it a brand. That's why I am doing what I'm doing. I feel like I'm following my path now because I love YouTube. I love content creating. I love doing this here, messing on the computer with different programs, the mic, the camera. Even if the camera is not on me, whether I'm doing something else, I enjoy this. And this is what I miss. I want to get back to this. I would say my goals going into 2026 is consistency and balance. That's what I really want to focus on, is both of those things. And, definitely my discernment, making that even more higher so I could peep out the monitoring spirits who are probably watching me right now. If you don't know what that means, Google it. You're probably one of them. And if not, that's okay. Definitely subscribe. I'm just me. And I feel like I want to show more of my personality and who I am on my channel because I just want to be more relatable. I want to build a community. I just want to show off my skill, whatever that might look like. With me changing my channel and me revamping it to KayDaTinker, I feel like it's hard for me to stay on topic with certain things on my channel because there's so many things that I want to do. But I wanted to narrow it down into something that I really can articulate differently. And I feel like I'm more of an artistic, lifestyle, free-spirited person. And that's what I want to put into my channel. And I want you guys to know, like, when you come to my channel, this is what you're gonna get every single time. Maybe it might be this one day, that one day, or something else, but it all kind of is in the same pot of things. So I'm excited. And yeah, I'm just excited for what the future has, what this channel is gonna do for me, because I know I have to work. I know I have to have some type of job. But the thing is, I don't want my job to consume what I'm really destined for. Like my job now, my 9 to 5, I'll say, is not it. I want to get to a point where YouTube is like 80% of my income and working a part-time is 20%. And the only reason why I'm working a part-time job is because of the benefits. Because getting insurance outside of your workplace is a lot of money and it's going up. So I figured, let me just keep the part-time, get the benefits, only a couple hours a week, and that's all you're getting from me. Everything else, all that energy is going towards the YouTube channel. I'm a little upset with myself that I invested in all this equipment. I took a back burner because my mental health was more important. And I'm glad I did, because it made me sit down and realize like I had to fix what was going on with me in order to be able to invest in me. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you watched it entirely. Yeah, I hope you guys just enjoy who I am as a person. Definitely subscribe to the channel. I will be back. I am going, like I said, consistency, balance, and discernment. That's all 2026. So yeah, stay tuned. I'll be bringing you more, and I'll see you next time. Happy New Year and many blessings to you all. Have a good one.